The Dallas Cowboys are making big moves already to start the new league year. Already making 2 trades that will undoubtedly make them a better football team next season. The first big trade was acquiring one of the best cornerbacks in all of football, Stephon Gilmore, and only giving up a 5th-round pick. In my opinion, that's a fleecing if you ask me. And we'll talk a little bit more about how that will help the team later in the video. But we also got to mention the fact that they just traded for wide receiver Brandon Cooks from the Texans. And now they have an elite wide receiver core once again. The NFL needs to take notice of what the Cowboys are quietly doing over here in Dallas because they're improving a lot already. And in this video, I'll be breaking down the 3 major factors that will lead the Cowboys to a championship next season. However, before we jump into the video, make sure you guys smash that like button. It helps out the channel so much you guys don't even understand. Also, subscribe to the channel if you're new. I will be covering the Dallas Cowboys and the rest of the NFL all off season long. So join the family. I'm going to be covering free agency, the draft, trades, whatever happens. I will keep you guys updated. So make sure you guys have your post notifications turned on so you're notified every time I drop some breaking news for y'all. But one last thing, comment down below. Who do you think is the most underrated player on the Cowboys right now? Let me know who you guys think. I'm very curious to see what your guys' answers will be. So, first off, I want to talk about the Cowboys offense. Now, in my opinion, they've actually improved tremendously already, but still have some work to do. Offensively, the Cowboys just added former Pro Bowl wide receiver Brandon Cooks to the team, and they've also franchise tagged Tony Pollard and released Zeke. Now, I know a lot of you guys might be a little bit sad about Zeke leaving, but Tony Pollard deserves that extra playing time. I mean, Pollard is cut from a different cloth. He is one of the best running backs in the game when he has the ball in his hands. He is a threat to make a play and get an 80-yard touchdown on any single down. He's one of the best running backs in the league. His elusiveness, his playmaking ability, his ability to, weave in and out of defenders and just get down the field and make a huge play. Tony Pollard needed this extra playing time. And although I love Zeke and I do think he could be a reliable player on another team, I do think this needed to happen. But I also think the addition of Brandon Cooks will push them over the hump. Now, this plays right into our first major factor, passing the ball more effectively. If the Cowboys can be a better passing team or have a better passing attack, their offense will pretty much be unstoppable. The Cowboys rank number 4 in points per game, number 10 in yards per game, number 5 in third down conversion percentage, number 4 in fourth down conversion percentage, and number 1 in red zone scoring, and also number 4 in touchdowns per game. Now, that alone shows that the Cowboys already have one of the most deadly offenses in the entire NFL. However, when we break down some of the more specific stats, we see, where they're lacking. The Cowboys rank number 18 in completion percentage, number 19 in passes per game, number 13 in pass yards per game, and number 29 in interception thrown percentage. So I know it kind of leans on Dak Prescott a little bit, but I think Dak will be able to take a step up next season, and I have all the confidence in the world that Dak Prescott will take this team to another level. I mean, you look at their core of CeeDee Lamb, Michael Gallup, Brandon Cooks, and Tony Pollard. I mean, it's truly unbelievable, and Dak is surrounded by playmakers. This offense is going to be scary. There's no doubt in my mind that when you pair up all 4 of these playmakers with Dak Prescott, having a decent year, not a great year, but I think he takes that into consideration, and he's going to come in here into the offseason and work extra hard. He's going to build chemistry with his teammates, and he's going to come out here next year and make a statement. I'm guaranteeing you guys right now, Dak Prescott knows that maybe his career over here in Dallas is on the line for next season. He needs to step up, and they're surrounding him with the right weapons. They're surrounding him with the playmakers, which will only make them better. Now, I also want to bring up the fact that the Cowboys ranked number 21 in yards per rush last season. But the crazy thing about that is Zeke was kind of, anchoring this number down a little bit. Now, no disrespect to Zeke. I still believe, like I said earlier, he can be a reliable player on another team. You just got to find the right fit. But, dude, when you break down the numbers, he was kind of just holding back a rising star in Tony Pollard. Zeke averaged 3.8 yards per carry, while Tony Pollard averaged 5.2 yards per carry. So that's a big difference. I mean, Tony Pollard was definitely the better running back when he had the ball in his hands. So I think that's one of the big things that the Cowboys took into consideration when, cutting Zeke. Now, if you ask me, I think the Cowboys will slightly improve in the run game next season with Pollard most likely leaping into stardom. But let's move on to our second major factor, and it's going to be maintaining their elite pass defense but improving their run defense. Now, as we all know, the Cowboys already added Stephon Gilmore to the equation, and I'm starting to feel bad for the whole NFC because the Cowboys might have the scariest secondary in all of football next year. Between Stephon Gilmore and Trayvon Diggs, I'm not really sure what teams are going to do in terms of, game planning against this team. I mean, it's already going to be tough. I guess you can try to attack their run game a little bit, but last season the Cowboys already ranked number 8 in completion percentage allowed, number 7 in yards per pass allowed, number 8 in passing yards allowed per game, number 3 in sack percentage, and number 11 in interception percentage. So ranking very highly in a bunch of major categories, passing defensively for passing the ball. Now, the run game, they need some work, and I expect them to make some moves here shortly to improve that aspect of the game. For example, there have been rumored to be adding Bobby Wagner, and that would be massive for Dallas. The Cowboys rank number 16 in yards allowed per rush and number 22 in yards allowed per game, running the ball wise. So they need to improve. Teams were averaging over 122 rushing yards per game on the Cowboys, and they need to prioritize that going forward. Overall, the defense was amazing last year, and they still have room to grow, which is the good thing. Now, before we jump into third and final factor, make sure you guys smash that like button, subscribe if you're new, or subscribe if you've enjoyed the video so far, and I will be dropping NFL videos all year long, so join the family. Also, comment down below, who do you think the Cowboys should target in free agency next? Okay, so the third and final factor that will help lead this Cowboys team to a championship next season is addressing a couple of more needs this offseason. Now, I listed a couple of positions here I think they need to add or, address this offseason for the rest of the offseason, to say. But I will say, coming into an offseason, they needed to add corner. They needed to add wide receiver. They already did that. They already, did that right away with Stephon Gilmore and Brandon Cooks. They already improved, and that is crazy because, like I said, coming into the offseason, those are the two positions I was like, okay, if the Cowboys don't get better here, I don't know if they're going to improve that much. But they already did that. They already got better there, so that's huge. But I would like to see the Cowboys go out and try to find and beef up that offensive line a little bit. And like I said before, linebacker is another position I think they should, go out and address, like Jerry Jones. Just go out and get Bobby Wagner, please. It would help everyone, defensively. It would just help out the Cowboys so much. Now, onto the offensive line. I think they have room for growth, but I think they're also pretty good already. They re-signed Tyron Smith, and Tyler Smith had a good season, but needs to build on that. Obviously, Zach Martin is insane, one of the best linemen in all of football. And then they have a really solid starting center. But depth is key to this team. There's going to be injuries. There's always injuries. So you got to account for depth. You need depth, and addressing the line a little bit as well as linebacker and maybe even another pass rusher will make this team pretty much unstoppable. And another guy I'd like to see come over here to Dallas is Yannick Ngakoue. He's a free agent, coming off a pretty good season with the Colts. I think that would be a huge add. I don't know if they have the money or cap space to add him and Bobby Wagner, but if they could somehow find a way to do that, that would be insane. But with that being said, guys, like I said, they're already making, the right moves in this offseason, adding a corner, Stephon Gilmore, adding a wide receiver in Brandon Cooks. I mean, their offense looks lethal. Their pass defense looks lethal. If they can shore up the run game and maybe beef up that O-line, this team is going to be one of the most unstoppable teams in all of football. And listen, I am being 100% honest when I say I think the Cowboys can go to the Super Bowl next season. But with that being said, guys, smash that like button, subscribe if you're new, join the family, and I will be seeing you guys on the next video. Let me know your guys' thoughts on this video. What do you guys think I was wrong about? What do you guys think I was right about? Let me know, and I will be seeing you guys on the next video. Peace.